Let's talk about how I got 100K in business credit. All right, fine. I didn't get 100K in one lump sum, but I had to get it spread out over, mostly credit cards and then one business loan. So, y'all, please note that I have a handful of LLCs, okay? So, the one that I'm going to be talking about getting a lot of funding for, the 100, $1,000 for, that LLC, I've had for many years. I want to say like 7 years. I built that one up from net 30 accounts. So I did get a few net 30 accounts first. Now, you're going to have way better chances of getting approved for a business credit card or a business loan if you set up your business credit correctly. So before you can start applying for what you really want, you're going to have to set up net 30 accounts. Or what I did is I visited nav.com and got a nav prime card. So nav prime will give you a nav prime card that's going to report to your business credit and build it up for you. It's a charge card essentially. So it's going to give you a certain amount of money that you're approved for every day, and you have to pay off the balance the next day. It's going to report as a trade line when it reports to those business credit bureaus. It's automatically going to report to both Experian and then the Small Business Financial Exchange. Now, the Small Business Financial Exchange is automatically going to report to Equifax and then Duns and Bradstreet. So, when your business is new and you haven't developed any business credit, if you're like how I was, you're automatically going to start with a bad business credit score just because you haven't built anything yet. I'm about to show y'all some serious receipts. When I first signed up for the NAV Prime card and I wanted to see what my, business credit was with no business credit history whatsoever tied to the business, y'all, my business credit was trash. Started out with a 42 out of 100 for full transparency. Tell me why, after only having my NAV Prime card for about 4 months, my business credit score went from 42 out of 100 to 91 out of 100. Now you're going to want to go to nav.com. So you're going to want to get a Prime Nav account. For me, this is way easier than setting up those net 30 accounts because frankly, I think the net 30 accounts are annoying. To me, it's just way more convenient. So now I've set up this business correctly, and I'm going to be doing this with all the LLCs that I haven't tapped into for business credit yet. Here, I can confidently apply for, business credit cards and business loans, which I will be soon for this new LLC, and then I'll be reporting back to y'all about it. This is not my first time dealing with business credit. So I have had at least two LLCs so far that I've obtained business credit with already. So I've had an LLC that I've had for a really long time. I want to say like 7 years or so. I started out with those annoying net 30 accounts. I probably had a few of those net 30 accounts. And then I got, approved for business credit cards from there. And then I got approved for business loans. I really took my time building up that account before I started, applying for the good money. So my credit, my personal credit, full transparency, has been up and down over the years just because of my utilization. So with the business credit, I was able to, use those credit cards up, and then it does not affect my personal credit at all. Now, the beauty about business credit. One of the beautiful things about business credit is that you're automatically going to get approved for more than you usually would with your personal credit just because they treat it as a business. But the main reason why it's so amazing is that when you do use your business credit cards, your personal credit isn't harmed by it. What I mean by that is the majority of business credit cards are not going to be reporting to your personal credit. Therefore, you're not going to be impacted for using them like you would with your personal credit, meaning you don't have to worry about your utilization getting raised when you use your business credit cards. Now, that does not mean that y'all can just, go crazy and go wild with these business credit cards now. You're still going to have to pay them on time, and if you stop paying them, that's when they're going to report to your personal credit. So they're not going to be on your personal credit, and they're not going to affect your personal credit at all unless you stop paying. Then they're going to report to your personal credit, and it's going to go into collections and all of that. So don't go too crazy now. But the beautiful thing about this is, y'all, the possibilities are really endless with this. I have funded most of my Airbnbs, I want to say almost all, but most of my Airbnbs, I have funded them through business credit. So I either use a business credit card or a business loan to get the funding for these properties since I didn't want to come out of pocket every single property every single time. I want to show y'all the specific business credit cards that I was approved for because I mean, I applied for, I feel like I applied for every business credit card that existed. Okay. I applied for business credit cards when I had okay credit and when I had amazing credit because my personal credit fluctuates. So, with that said, let me tell y'all the ones that I got approved for. Now, it's really easy to get approved for a Truist business credit card. They offer a 0% interest for the first 12 months. They are all reliable, so I've helped friends get approved for this card as well. You don't need any business income, at least not when I applied to get approved for this. But y'all, while I'm talking about Truist, do not get a Truist bank account, okay? I don't even have time to talk about why, because that'll be too long. Just don't get a Truist bank account, but do get a Truist business credit card. I got approved for $8,000 with them without having to show proof of income for my LLC. Another easy one for me, at least, to get approved for is the Delta Community Business Credit Card. They call it their Visa Business Platinum Rewards Credit Card. Me personally, they didn't approve me for much, only a few $1,000s. So, in my opinion, it was still worth it. Hey, I'll take it. Next up is my Wells Fargo Signify Business Credit Card. They offer 0% interest for the first 12 months. They approved me for 5K, so it's not bad. Now here's an interesting one. Capital on Tap. They got some positives and they got some negatives. Here's the positives. They be giving away money, y'all. I mean, I got approved for 20,000. So that's great. That was the highest offer of a credit card that I did get approved for as far as business credit. However, they want you to pay back, I want to say it's 10% of the amount that you spend per month, which is a lot. So if I spend the full 20K, I gotta pay 2 grand a month. That's quite a lot. So the interest that they offer is absolute garbage, even if you have a good credit score. So they offer me 35% interest. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna avoid using this card unless I must be going through something or what. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's pretty bad. If you're in a bind or you really need to get a deal and you really need to get this property, I mean, go for them. But just know the problems. What this video will be missing on purpose is how to build business credit. So there's 4 tiers to follow with business credit. There's tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you want to learn how to build business credit in order to get approved for these business credit cards and business loans, you got to buy my course. If you click on the link below in my description, you're going to see the link to that course, and it's going to pretty much break down the entire process for you. Next, I'm going to talk about some American Express card. And just FYI, American Express, they do want you to have a pretty high credit score in order to get approved. So I tried to get approved for American Express for literal years, and it wasn't until my credit score was like 720 when they finally approved me. I want to say that American Express is the only company that I had trouble with getting approved with, because if I had like less than a 700 at the time of applying, they always gave me some issues, but they really want to see a 720, okay? So, yeah, I would say that out of the cards I mentioned, out of the funding that I mentioned, the only one where I feel like you really need a good credit score in order to get approved is going to be American Express. One of the American Express business credit cards I got approved for was the Blue Business Credit Card. They also offer the 0% over 12 months, so 0% interest for the first 12 months. and I got approved for 12K. I also got approved for the American Express Business Green Card. For this one, I got approved for 6K. A really easy one to get approved for is Capital One Business. So I did get a few of their Business Spark credit cards. One I got approved for 2K and the other one 5K. So I also got approved for the Home Depot Commercial Business Credit Card. For this one, I got approved for 6K. Y'all, tell me why. Tell me why I skipped to tier 4. Now, I was able to skip all the way from 0 to tier 4 with one company. I got denied by literally every other company. I was being lazy and I wanted to skip to tier 4 for this newer LLC. And I applied for every single business credit card known to man and a whole bunch of business loans. Denied, denied, denied. Okay. So they did not care that I was, making a certain income in my business income and I can prove it over years of time. They didn't care what I was making. They didn't care that I had 7 figures that I was making. Like, they didn't care. They cared more about me having business credit than what my business was actually making. Mind you, this is a 2-year-old LLC, so this is younger. This is a younger one compared to like my dominant 7-year one. But I still expected them to say yes, even though I didn't have business credit. One lender, one lender approved me, right? One lender approved me for a line of credit, even though I had absolutely zero business credit history. This lender is called Revenued, and only Revenued approved me because I didn't have that business credit built up. Now, I literally was told by the lenders so many times from the other companies, hey, we're denying you because you don't have any business credit built up. They didn't approve me for much, but it's something. So they approved me for a $5,000 line of credit. So it's actually really cool because I actually really like the idea of a line of credit. It's really when you don't really need the funds, but you just want a safety net, like safety net funds, because you can pull from it as you go with a line of credit. So they don't give you all the funds in a lump sum if you don't want all the funds at one time. You can decide how much of the funds you want to use at the time, and you only pay interest on whatever you actually use with a line of credit. So they might deposit, they might force you to take, a minimum of 10%, which is what Revenue did. They wanted me to take 10%, which is $500, and then the $4,500 is left in my Revenue account. So whenever I decide, hey, I want to use this $4,500 because of whatever, I can. So it's sitting there in the account when I'm ready for it. So this is through your Revenue account. So you would have like a client portal and you would request the funds if you were to want to use the funds and only pay interest on the funds that you actually use. And then they would deposit those funds into your bank account like within a few business days. Or a really cool feature that I like is that you can actually use it like a credit card. So they also give you a card. So if you decide, hey, I would rather use it like a card, like a credit card, you can too. So the term for the line of credit is only 1 year though, which is not what I wanted, but it's better than nothing. I did want to try to build my business credit with this. This is really my reason for using it, is to build business credit, because I just don't like how I only have a year to pay it back. So I probably won't be using the funds, but it is a way for me to build business credit. So I would say if you want to build business credit, this could be the best option for you, because with Revenue, I was able to skip these tiers. The link to sign up for Revenue and try that out is below. So you can try to skip the tiers. It won't make your life as easy. It'll make it more difficult. It might be more of a challenge, and you might get denied a million times like I did. But you can try to skip the tiers, or you can go with the companies that I recommend, just because I know, based on experience, personal experience, how easy it is to get business credit. Worked like built up from these 2 companies. That is Nav Prime and Revenue, and that's it, y'all, because I have done the work for you. Okay, that is what you need to be going with. So you might want to start off with Nav Prime to make it easier. Give it a few months, and then try to apply for Revenue. I also got approved for a credibly business loan of 30K. So we just go round up. That's $100,000 of business credit that I've gotten. But yeah, follow the steps in the right order. Build up those trade lines or net 30 accounts, and then go ahead and get your business credit started. So, getting a NAV Prime card does cost a little bit of money, but it's only $49. So, I mean, $49 for trash business credit to really great business credit, to me, that's worth it. Click the link below to get that NAV Prime card. Well, that wraps up business credit. So, yeah, apply this knowledge and go ahead and get you guys some business credit. Watch this video on how to determine the most profitable cities for your Airbnb. And I'll also discuss how to determine whether or not there's short-term rental regulations in the city. Watch this video on how to start an Airbnb business step by step.